apexing at 5:59 a.m. Eastern, 4:49 a.m. Central, 3:59 a.m. Mountain, and 2:59 Pacific. I always feel like I'm going back in time. But with the full moon streaming in at the 17th degree, you may just feel called to speak your dreams, your visions into reality. Spirit's like inducing this conversation. The energy of reality is high during this full moon, being in the dreamy, creative, spiritual sensing sign of Pisces, the realm of our subconscious reality. We may have some sort of spiritual decision to make, a heartfelt one in our inner authority, reality. It's time to decide. Spiritual energy is inducing this within us. This is where dreams become a feeling within our day-to-day life. They become real. Intuition.
Inshallah and Ayyy, just tuning into my own little voice within. So it's a talented Tuesday. And boy, has it been an innovator, just streaming in our light, our inner light, our brilliance. Being the light that we are inside and just understanding what that even means. The mind begins to listen to our heart's channel, the core processor, just listening and understanding. This prime processor, our heart really knows. It's the one that serves. The mind serves the heart. So you may be examining areas like your relationships, partnerships, career, job, anything you're in relation with, basically. And understanding or having an understanding that if you still even understand or relate to the tribe, the community, the village, just being in that relationship. So can you be authentically who you are, nature? In these relationships, and are they even relating to you? Do you seem a little woo-woo or out there? And also, on the other side of that, does the other person, relationship, whatever, community, open the door to your own self-expression? And do they value it? They may not agree with it, but do they see the value in what you are expressing? Even maybe objects, even that you may not relate to before, whether it's a nice little mug or maybe people who no longer relate to you at all. You seem a little crazy. As the value isn't being valued, right? So the decision that you may come with or even to today is like moving, it's transforming, and it's this power to act on them and improving the ones that are going to stay. It's a different form of healing in a different kind of way. Karma's maybe twisted, revisited, maybe blocked. So you kind of want to ask yourself if you want to go another round, or are you ready to decide to no longer involve yourself in that karmic thread, just changing the threads of the karma. So these happenings of our mind are really processing our mind is my mental empathy, what no longer belongs in our lives, the core essence of it in our heart space. So the heart center is kind of filtering through all of this information, and you may discover that your life literally has been on a treadmill of serving others, and that treadmill is no longer aligned with your heart's prime directive. You're not having your own personal joy or your personal cup of coffee even, or tea, if that happens. So it's like a change in our atmosphere. It's time to shift our thoughts. And we truly are the creators of our reality. Thoughts from outside opinions, you know, they're not a reflection of who we are. That's outside of us. You can push them away, or what kind of life we're even meant to live. It's our own personal star essence. It's our heart, the heart center, who is the ruler of what does belong in our life. It's a master perspective, going to the mountaintop, a heartfelt opening, and being the one who's ultimately in charge. That's going to be the master communicator to the mind. And the moon is in Capricorn. It's going to cross over Pluto. So this is really helping us really kind of cut the cords and detach our emotions from the drama and the chaos that may be bubbling to the surface. And then we can further into see how our emotions help us to relate to humanity, society, because it's moving into Aquarius. So as this wheel of karma turns, decide the wheel your reality is going to spin on. Are you going to get back on the wheel? Are you going to leave the wheel? Are you going to create a new wheel, even a new habitat that's been elevated? Oh, even like what loving way are you prepared to release these relationships? If you're like me, you probably feel like the black sheep of the family. And I do mean that literally within your own family or even people, places, situations, things, your community, a feeling in your tribe. However, the quicker we master and we learn to be okay with who we are inside of ourselves, even if it's a little woo woo in that nature, and we own that, we have that integrity, it's an alignment, it's easier to navigate life being the black sheep, knowing where you do and you do not belong. It's just easier. Not only easier, but actually it's a lot more fun, it's exciting, it's creative. So just knowing where my tribe or who my tribe is and isn't, and valuing not just my own perspective, but the other perspectives of others as they value mine, two sides of that same coin. It doesn't have to come with judgment. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go by the term holistic shaman medium, which is just a merging of it all. And my intention is to utilize the power of the indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, the original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic, our ninth energetic center, through these realms that are elemental, imaginal, my favorite, through the gateway of the shamanic portal, the creativity line, the cosmos and subtle energies, and really so much more, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals to really add to your juice, your cosmic streaming, and your personal container, those ingredients, your personal medicine, your prime directive, just assisting you in discovering your own personal inner genius, your personal medicine, the star that I believe we all are, and just reintroducing you to that magical being, that essence that resides within each and every one of us, so that our light shines even brighter. And with that, my name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. Authentically Heartfelt. Please do YouTube, and also refer a friend and like and share. And as you do that, you can find me on YouTube, Tanya D, Musing with Tanya D, my podcast, or the Tanya D on Instagram, and even some private groups. But a big shout out to the village, the community, the new subscribers, heartfelt blessings. You're part of the village, the tribe. Even to those that have been on my journey for some time as well. Ahhhh and blessings. Thank you. It's growing and expanding, and I have you to thank for that. And go ahead and hit the bell button so you're also notified. And remember, a comment or a share does get you a little message and insight for your day to get you on your way. Just going out that algorithm to other like-minded musers out in the galactic universe who may also muse about insights of the other world, the world of spirit, source, beings that are otherworldly, elemental, and so much more. And you can also, again, find me on other social platforms, TikTok, my new favorite playground, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, my podcast, Musing with Tanya D. And if your soul does wish to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my digital library in the sky. It's a venue where you have some amazing options and opportunities to assist you, to guide you, a private sacred circle, a community to utilize as well. I really am your shamanic otherworldly assistant or life coach. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we just need somebody to show us something with a different or a new set of eyes, if you will. So with all of that, our options today, if you're new to my show, I give people an option to choose what resonates with them, and then I pull some messages a little later. So your options today are kind of curious, but they do go with the energy of today. That's why I chose them. We've got mindful awareness. Are you mindful or mindful? Different. And mindful living. So as you navigate and resonate with one of those, my few announcements, the goddess of the night, that's what I call the moon. This one's the harvest full moon is out on the highway. A Piscean full moon, so it's dreamy, it's the subtle realm, it's the subconscious. Maybe re-listen to the Virgo full moon in the season of Pisces. It's like what was happening then that you may be revisiting now. This kind of is the cosmic movie of our mind. Spirit and reality are kind of wavering back and forth. So be sure to tune in to the Harvest Moon meditation. Share your insights, rituals, and offerings that you may or may not do to the goddess of the night. I always like to do something special on the full moons and the new moons, or just for the moon in general. Let's be real. But possibly even tune into the Otherworldly podcast, Virgo season as well. Metatron, the archangel of the season, and also the Merkaba cube. So we've got some options as well. And streaming in very soon, like next week, I think. It's definitely coming up fast. A Witcher's Way to Manifestation. This is a portal to monetize your medicine. We're going to start with a foundation, cleansing the spheres of our subtle centers, and then moving into each center, the chalice of our in and out of body energetic fields. So amazing. And then into the language of emotions. So maybe an outdated belief is what's in the way of what's in alignment to get you to your manifestation. So be sure to sign up. And last but not least, on my announcement thread, if your soul, your prime directive, your personal medicine, your inner genius is really calling out for a one-on-one, the art of cowrie shell divination was literally brought to the West by Elder Malidoma Somé of the Dagara tribe in Dano, Burkina Faso, West Africa. But he's an African shaman who brought this ancient art of these indigenous ways, these technologies here to the West. I've been a protege, a student of elders for over 10 years now, and I continue to be of service to these indigenous ways, these technologies. But your personal medicine, this is discovering your inner genius, and know that ritual literally is food for your soul. Rituals for the goddess of the night, the holidays, the seasons, the celebrations, the elementals, and so much more. But it generally shows us where the cosmic debris are, what I call energetic hiccups, things that happen for us, not to us, looking at it through a different set of eyes. But the first area always of interest in a cowrie shell divination is the realm of our ancestors. And then we begin to dive in deeper into the discourse, the forces of adversity. Like myself, the black sheep, you may be the family janitor. You're here to do the cleanup for your lineage, your incarnation, this timeline. That really is a thing. But if your soul's nudging you to invest in your personal medicine, go ahead and schedule a session. But with the energy of today, the heart is cueing in. So you may be feeling this dominating energy of our thoughts kind of opening the door, protruding in. Again, that's why I went with the mind stuff. But the mind's attention, it's hyper-focused on our perception of our reality within our world, our personal world. In the elemental realm, it'd be our month, what comes in on the month streaming in. Sometimes it's a feeling of short circuitry, movement of some kind. Exercise, movement is the key just to recalibrate those short circuits. Meditation, even doing something that stills the mind, shifting the direction of this energy into something that is more manageable, containable. Be like the fae, sing, dance, chirp even, be like the birds. Helps to ground the energy into something fun, something more creative. And in the galactic eye, there's this opening of a new understanding, a clarity, a perspective, a new perspective in how you are seeing your day-to-day reality. So seeing the world from the top of the mountain, and in doing so, the perspective you see is different than it was before. A sunset is never the same in our day-to-day world. So the door's opening to a new realization, a new platform coming from a new or a different belief or even a thought, and just opening our eyes to a new way of being. Maybe in the past you saw reality from the perspective of always being someone who was at a low vantage point or disenfranchised even. So seeing the world as less advantageous or less doors opening or opportunities. But now the eye you see it with are these golden eyes. They're streams of gold with endless opportunities coming into a new alignment, a different integrity. So what's transforming? The spells you cast upon yourself. It's the language. It's the words you use. Words are spells in a way, right? So it could be your attitude. It could be your mindset. Just going through a radical ritual, seeing the mountaintop perspective, like the Grand Canyon point of view. I would for sure take a breath and a pause, add some patience in that cosmic soup, because it may take a few moments or days to know if this is true for you authentically. So what approach can you take different? Can you play with it? Can you create with it? So it really is a thought-promoted day, musing thoughts. So play with those thoughts, write them down, see if you can reword them into something of an opportunity instead of a main stage ingredient that you've always thought before. And on the elemental highway, we've got a yang water dog of a day, a Ren Xu, if you will. I don't know if I'm saying these right. I'm just going to be honest. But the elemental water, I do understand the elementals. I just think I'm not Chinese, right? But I'm trying, whatever. But water gains strength in the season of the monkey. the autumn season. So our day is solid. It is strong. It does have a friend there in the year, a good friend, by the way. And the mountain, the young earth, that's kind of giving direction to our day. But in the season of the monkey or the month of the monkey, young earth is actually hallowed earth. So it really can't do the job. And yin fire and yin wood. So this would be like a plant or a candle, yin energy, right? And we do have a charismatic month god coming in for the young earth and the monkey, along with the water and the dog. It all kind of plays out. So this is a global, on the year is a global friend or a global god, gobble, gobble, a global. So the possibilities of being a charismatic, world-renowned friend. That's kind of the frequency. This is highly charismatic. It's bonding abilities as well. So a charismatic friend, or maybe you become charismatic. You're seen as a friend outside in the big world. Maybe you're a novelist. I don't know, something like that. Okay, so our options, be sure to type them in. Mindful awareness, or is it mindful and mindful, or mindful living? So those are your options, either one. I kind of like the mindful awareness myself, but I like mindful living as well. I like it all. Let's be real. Okay, so I went with the Sacred Creators Oracle because the mind is filtering today. So these are like questions to ask our mind. So if you chose mindful awareness, the first message is, what do you really want? And that X literally marks the spot. I don't know if you can see the number 27 there at the base, kind of hard to see, but this is when we feel and what we sense, or what we sense and when we feel. So we initiate the action when we pay attention to our intuition, and it feels. It's the feeling that comes with it. And then we initiate the action we want to take. So maybe you feel like you're working too hard for an abstract, otherworldly idea, or not knowing when you've even reached your goal. Maybe you're missing the moment of joy. Maybe you feel lost or confused, or even not feeling fulfilled, or maybe you're unsure of where you're even headed. So the message here is an opportunity to realign with your life journey and with your soul purpose. So ask yourself, what do you really want? Like, really? I don't know if you could hear Tiger. He's down here gobbling at me. Come on, buddy. Jump on up. So seriously, what do you really want? Beyond the parameters of what's possible in this dimension, what's likely even beyond the limitations of time and money? Like, what do you want? Heartfelt. This is like heartfelt instigation here. So regardless of your situation, current or otherwise, regardless of what you wanted yesterday, what's that big sacred dream that really stares back at you when you allow yourself to indulge in some magical thinking? Because thoughts are online. So if it seems like the dream's too far away to actually conjure it up in your mind's eye, then you just have some work to do. So this is a journey. It's spiritual. It's a creative trajectory towards what you want, with your why kind of right there. It's our life, right? So it's time to ensure that we're enjoying it, that all of our efforts along the way are working together to build this ideal reality that we have chosen, creating the reality we want to be in. So just being mindful that you're not just toiling away at little tiny superficials, or playing it safe, that possibly could never bring your soul the joy it heartfelt desire. So really being mindful of this energy and building something that will never be enough. Instead, define what success means to you. What does that even look like? And know how you're going to feel when you've reached that goal. Feelings are very different than being mindful, right? So what do you feel your heart truly desires? And only by clearly defining it can we finally see a path that's going to take us there. You have to be clear, clarity, right? Water. And how does the success in your life help others? And also, what does that look like? Or even, what exactly does success look like to you? Is it abundance? Is it prosperity? Is it great health? Is it joy? And more importantly, again, how does it feel inside of you? So again, clearly defining your goal as a feeling as you experience it will help you to understand what you're working so hard for. Name what you want, breathe it in, feel its presence, and more importantly, write it down. And then, how do you know if you've reached your goal? really that there resonates with the energy of the day. That's how you know. It's a feeling, it's an expression in what you feel. It's a resonance field, actually. Okay. After this, if you chose mind, are you being mindful or mindful? I love that. Oh boy. This is great. Falling in love with your own story. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. 54. So this also resonates with the energy of today. I don't know if you can see the 54, but this is again being mindful of where one does and does not belong. Essentially, this is sharing our story. It's being responsible, knowing you're the author of your own epic novel or your tale, whatever you want to create, and revisiting the inspiration behind your personal brand. You know, our stories have power. They shape our understanding of who we are and what we can do. And when we get them right and totally love our own story, magic happens. The universe opens that door. And the story that has the most hold on your life is the one that you tell yourself, especially when you're looking in the mirror every day. It literally runs on autopilot. So it convinces you of your lucky and your unlucky, or both, circumstances, your amazing or mediocre abilities, your strengths and weaknesses. And it assures you that money is easy to make or that you need to suffer and work hard before it can arrive. It's two sides of the coin, right? But it includes a lot of shoulds, and it's actually mega powerful. We could should ourselves to death. We should shift ourselves, but should ourselves. That sounded bad. But anyway, because it informs our perception of our reality, at the same time, it solidifies these subconscious beliefs, as it's both a powerful gateway to these incredible and powerful weavers of truthless shadows that we create. We conjure them up. So it's time to be mindful of the story that we are telling ourselves. It possibly needs a rewrite. So edit the message and share the most magical, beautiful parts of who you authentically are in your narrative. So if you uncover something negative that's been playing on repeat, like that broken record, you've hit a massive opportunity to stop that threading, to stop that looping. So you do have an incredible story. So dig around a little bit in your soul. It will be staring right back at you with a little something, something that no other person on this planet can actually replicate. So it's like, what does that story say that you're great at, that you're magical at? And what does it say that you need to actually work on? So it's like, are there parts of it that are tired and old and just horribly outdated? So it's like, what does need the rewrite in all of that conjuring of words? Words have power, right? So rewrite your story. That's what I'm going to do. Working on it right now. Okay. For those of you that chose mindful living, this is a great one as well. All these cards were great today, right? So this is light in the unexpected. The 16, this is receiving heartfelt guidance when we open up the channel to spirit, like our intuition. So this is the unexpected. It's upheaval, disarray, it's lightning, it's working with sudden change or lessons from unexpected sources, and spreading love maybe in difficult times, and showing our authentic, our true self, or even more importantly, possibly being a light worker in a place where it's needed the most. Something unexpected is emerging very quickly. So this type of sudden change can be exhilarating. It can be lightning fast, but it can also feel like things have gotten way out of control. So when parts of our regularly scheduled reality begin to crumble, the tower starts falling down. While the future is going to be unpredictable during this upheaval, the storm, just know that the universe is holding us close, and that the change is going to expose a handful of opportunities that sometimes we just can't see yet. So it's like, what shimmers beneath the rubble? Hopefully it's love and light and meaning and happiness and joy, streams. They're all hidden in this current situation. So allow them to flood into your life by actively searching for the meaning in the madness, right? There's always a message there. And you're going to see that it's exactly what you've been preparing for. Hopefully not hindsight, but it's often during challenging times that our star stuff can truly shine brighter. So really take a deep breath, seek the light in the darkness, the ghost in the darkness. There's so much of it there to really work with. So is there something about your life today that you've been looking at through wrong eyes, maybe? What's fractured and what's working, like two sides of the coin. And which pieces are worth keeping. That's kind of what's streaming in, and what exponential growth and transformation is really available to each and every one of us, or what light in the unexpected is staring back at you with its silver lining. So our day has actually got some great messages, and with the energy of it and the messages, it's like changes in the air, the hamster wheel of life. It's ready to switch that karmic wheel, and a new path pioneering where you've never been before, a path heartfelt realized reality of where you do belong. And also we've got the solar plexus streaming, which is the Ram channel, and also our heart, high heart. So we can use both of these bass notes. And we also have the throat center open, which is a 3 and a 5, which adds to an 8, which is a whole nother thing, which also is the Hom channel. Hom. So if your mind needs assistance, utilize those sounds. They're in the show notes, the Hom or the Ram, and you can always yum. Things are yummy. And yin fire, a candle. I would probably do a red candle, or a plant, nature, or you could do a green candle. You could do a combination. Herbs are great too. But I would affirm that I'm creating the reality of my story. I would go start re-editing my life story. Asking ourselves, what is it that we really heartfelt want, and falling in love with our own story, and finishing with that light in the unexpected, just changing the thoughts that are creating the reality we're in. Like, I no longer belong in certain spaces or places. It's been affirmed by the universe. I've got the nudge, and paradigms are changing. The environments are switching. So it's going to feel uncomfortable. You might even feel emotionally bankrupt in a way because it's different. So with that, be sure to sign up for A Witcher's Way to Manifest. It's going to be otherworldly, inspiriting, cleansing of the cosmic webbing as well. I hope to see you there for that. And Ahhhh blessings. I'm probably going to do a late show tonight as I have an adventure tomorrow, doing some ritual with some friends, but I will for sure see you on the other side. Ahhhh.